Um, a lying Republican now says that when you call out her lies, you're being anti-Hispanic. This is exactly the nonsense that the right accuses the left of doing. I will remind you that there is this new Republican Congresswoman, Anna Paulina Luna. She lied about being Jewish. We talked about it yesterday. She's not actually Jewish. She has since been called out for her lies. She says to Charlie Kirk during an appearance yesterday that when her lies are called out, it is anti-Hispanic. That's an interesting perspective. Let's listen.
And to say that I would make something like that up, why would they say that? It's because they don't want young Hispanics to be reputable. And if you look at the slant of the entire article, they say that I'm not Hispanic enough, even though they cite where my grandparents immigrated from. But, you know, a lot of what they do, it's character assassination. And
Right.
if you don't have the spine for it, you can fold. But I think that we launched a full frontal assault, and we'll look forward to more retraction soon.
Yeah. Despite the claims of Republicans, it is actually Republicans who regularly play the victim card. This is another example of accusations or confessions. This is another example of projection. This is another example of the right developing a narrative about the left that applies more to them than it does to the left. Republicans often claim that the left always are victims. We're victims of racism, say the leftists. We're victims of xenophobia. We're victims of sexism. The left just, they want to be victims. But when you actually look, you see that Republicans have been playing the victims for a long time now. The war on Christmas, the Christians were being victimized. The war on religion. The claims aren't backed by evidence. They use them to rally their base. They use them to raise money. They use them to purport to be the victims of some liberal agenda. Oh, if you're straight, you're now being attacked just for being straight. Another example, they say we're victims of election fraud. There's no evidence to support that. And in fact, when individual perpetrators of so-called election fraud are found, they are almost always Republicans, either trying to test the system or simply trying to vote multiple times. They say the left does it. They're the ones getting caught doing it. Okay. They said an entire election was stolen from them. Trump's new thing. Oh, no, nobody's been treated more unfairly than my family. All my friends. Do you have friends, sir? All my friends tell me nobody's been treated as unfairly as you have. But the left, they're the ones who play the victim. And then, of course, they often claim to be the victims of discrimination, or sometimes they like to use the term reverse discrimination or reverse racism or whatever the case may be. And yet, when you actually look at studies, you find that it is people of color, communities of color, marginalized groups who are more likely to actually be discriminated against. And so by claiming to be the victims of discrimination, they deny the experiences of people who are actually the victims of discrimination. They distract from real issues. And of course, they become that which they criticize the left for being. And this is yet another example. They're going after me for being Hispanic. No, they're going after you for being a liar. That's what this is at the end of the day. And so I don't really know the best strategy for the left on this, because if you're on the left and you identify an injustice, you've gone woke, you're playing the victim card, whatever. But then when they do it themselves and we call it out, because the right doesn't care about hypocrisy anymore, or if they ever did, and because the right has abandoned policy, their voters don't actually care. They fall for it. Yeah, they're going after Anna Paulina Luna because she's a proud conservative Hispanic woman. No, they're going after her because she's a liar and she deserves it, quite simply.